your standard basic passive movement is what? You can go forward, you can go backwards, you can go lateral, right or left, all right? As we all know, a basic thing in boxing, a big no-no that anyone that knows anything about boxing will tell you is what? Don't move straight back, or don't move straight back for more than a couple steps, right? Now, why is that? Is that just some folklore voodoo stuff? No, there's a good reason why. Because if you're moving straight back, you're gonna end up on your heels eventually, right? Think about going back, and you're gonna end up where? You're gonna end up on the rope right here. Like we talked about earlier up top, you're limited on your options now, all right? Now you're a human heavy bag, potentially, all right? Now, think about this though. A lot of times, people will tell you not to go straight forward. Well, yes, you do want to go straight forward. And with these multi-triple jabs, going straight forward, you're driving that person straight back. Ha-ha, good time. And they're gonna end up right here, and they're gonna be limited on where they can go. Now think about it as well. If we can drive them into a corner as well, we're also going to limit the amount of options they have, because now, unlike here, see right here, they can go this way, that way, or they could try to go forward out that way, all right? Or smother you down. Here in the corner, they don't have these options here. They can either go this way, this way, this way. They're stuck, all right? And that is the benefit, as you guys know, of getting people on the ropes, and then the benefit particularly of getting people in the corner. Of course, you as a boxer need to work on getting people in the corners and you avoiding corners. You see that when guys are about to get knocked the hell out or they're really hurt, they'll kind of go one corner, stagger out of that corner, go to the next corner, stagger out of that corner, and eventually they go into a corner that they decide to be where their grave is going to be, and that's where they get stopped. Now, so if it's the case that we want to drive people straight back, if they want to let us drive them straight back, which it is the case, a good boxer is going to do what? They're not going to let you drive them straight back. They're going to try to avoid off in a circular type pattern, off the line. So they're going to go typically off to a circle pattern like that, or a circle pattern like this, all right? So they're circling off like that, because if you're coming in straight and they're getting a little bit off the side as they're making space, guess what? Now you're here, they're over here, they have all of that to go. All right, so they're good, and you're in trouble now because you're over here and you got to start all over again. Or they can reverse it on you if they want to be aggressive and drive you right to the ropes or to a corner, all right? How do we nullify that situation? You know how to jab in and cut them off as you do it, all right? So being able to jab, make space, or rather overcome space, get closer as you match their movement, right? Because it's very easy as a beginner boxer, and obviously it's your first foundational things you learn, is to be able to step forward, step backwards, step laterally, and step to the other side. And that's it. So you're working in these four planes. What you need to be able to do with this double triple jab is not only be able to cut off laterally, but get in closer as you do so, all right? So as they're cutting off here, you are making this pattern, so therefore, you're gonna catch them at some point and be able to drive them straight back. Same thing goes for this way as well. So you need to work on these patterns of movement, which I'm going to demonstrate in a video. Here's that jab, forward and lateral movement. Again, it's very important to be able to be in your stance and be able to jab straight in with your double, triple jabs, multi-jabs to drive them straight back. Very important concept like we talked about. Now, let's talk about moving forward in off this side. Very easy to do to the lead side. But most people, if you're boxing an orthodox boxer particularly, they're not going to go that way. They're going to go off that way, because think about it. Easiest to move this way, so they're going to be moving back and circling off to this side if they're a good fighter. So let's use our line here to show this. So again, they're going to be going this way. A lot of times they're going to make a little bit of space, go off that way if you can't drive them straight back. So we need to be able to get not only closer, but stay with them. How do we do that? Watch my feet here. I have to make sure my stance is not on a tightrope. We know this anyway, good boxing technique. You don't want to be on a tightrope because you lack in lateral movement in general, but also too, it's just not going to be a good position to throw your other punches. So if I'm here off the tightrope. With that first jab, I'm gonna step in and almost get on tightrope. Watch, I'm here, boom. I got a little bit closer and I got a little bit on tightrope. Now the back foot's gonna come afterwards. I'm here. Next jab, I get closer, almost on tightrope, bring the back foot up with me. And then so over time, what's gonna happen is I'm here in my stance, here's my guy, he's gonna make space and get off to the side. I'm here, boom, 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 boom. And I'm staying with him. I'm going in a pure line that way. I'm not curving with him because again, think about it. If I curve with somebody and I do this number, I'm not gonna get them, right? And then if I only go pure lateral and he's making space on me, I'm not gonna get him because he's going lateral and backwards. Make sense? So you need to practice this in the ring. Advantageous positions to have somebody is either on the rope or in a corner, all right? When they're in the middle of the ring, they can go anywhere, right? So if someone's in the middle of the ring right here, my movement potential, look at that, it's like a sun, is endless. Again, here, my movement potential, side to side, here, and maybe I could drive forward. So you're cutting off half the options, and then here, you're cutting off even more options. So see that, it's a beautiful picture, isn't it? Now, I can hear right now, because not everybody is stocky, not everybody is medium build, right? There's some guys that are great boxers, a lot of great boxers, that are long and lanky. Now in this situation, you can still do the same thing. Why is that? Because off those double, triple jabs, you're jabbing in, you want to have small steps, but that jab, just like for a shorter guy, is your measuring stick. And just like a measuring stick, once you get past a certain point, you know you gotta stop. And it's a literal physical arm barrier in the way that will stop you from smothering yourself. So often, you'll see short guys, medium-sized guys, or tall guys smother themselves, right? Smother themselves from their optimum range of power and leverage that can be generated. Versus great fighters get people right where they want them, all right? Think about like Tommy Hearns. He has the great range so he can create perfect leverage or achieve his perfect leverage and maximum power with his punches, him being a longer guy. So you can use that jab as a taller guy, and if someone wants to, you know, because everyone habitually, right, if you freaking do a bunch of punches in my face, habitually, most people, they're gonna go back just a little bit, no matter who they are, all right? And that's where you, as a taller person, can use this jab. Now, also though, you might wanna use the jab as a taller person to do the circle pattern, all right? So you, as a taller guy, can be here and then kind of just circle around, because now you're keeping range, you're keeping them busy to line up, you're doing everything we're doing with the strategy, but you're not necessarily getting closer at all. You're either keeping the same exact range or even slightly getting out as the other person tries to get slightly closer to you. But think about it. This pattern here, if you start from here, it's a long time before you end up on the ropes. And then of course you can just switch the pattern here like that, and that gives you more space and everything else. All right, so as a longer guy, you're gonna jab a little bit more off to the side sometimes. As a shorter guy, I strongly recommend you not, or even as a medium-sized guy, I recommend you being able to jab, and the tall guy too, jabbing straight in with multi-jabs, because that's hopefully gonna drive them straight back, completely control them, and you're gonna minimize the ability of getting smothered. Think about it, if you're coming in with big old hooks and things like that, there's openings there where if they stop immediately or they step into you, you're like this or like this, and now they're inside you, and now it's all shut down. All your good work is smothered, and it's very hard to work off of that. Versus if I have an arm in the way and I'm jabbing and someone tries to get inside of it, there is some control that happens. There's some space that is naturally created that's gonna keep you from getting smothered. So if you're a shorter guy and you're attacking people and you're finding yourself, you always get in close and too close, it's probably because you're not doing the strategy, all right? So start doing the strategy.